Saint Walpurgis Night was and is a real holiday observed by various denominations of the Christian faith throughout Europe. Saint Walpurga was a Christian missionary and abbess in 8th century Europe. She is remembered for her missionary work, specifically having a notable command over evangelizing people from paganism. After her death in the 770s, her bones were placed in Eichstätt, Germany, and were observed to have exuded an oil with healing and therapeutic properties. This was the first of two miracle narratives that led to her canonization in the Christian Church almost 100 years after her death. On May 1st of presumably the year 870, Saint Walpurga was canonized, or declared worthy of public veneration or respect in the Christian Church's canon catalogue of saints. And so, the night before May 1st is observed as the Walpurgis Night, or the night of Saint Walpurga's canonization. The holiday is typically observed even still to this day with the lighting of bonfires used to ward off evil spirits and witches. It's Saint Walpurga's work in evangelizing people from paganism that the Walpurgis Night holiday remains in the Christian faith. And so that brings us to Gfriend, who in the final act of their career named the conclusion of the Hui trilogy Walpurgis Night. This is quite an obscure reference, and I want to use this video to explain what I understand to be the significance of the reference with Gfriend's narrative in mind. The lead title track from this album is called Mago, the Spanish noun for magician or sorcerer, so it's clear that Gfriend's reference to Walpurgis Night involves the holiday's convention of warding off witchcraft, as also evidenced in the lyrics, which speak of magic, flying off on a broom, and so on. Gfriend's entire narrative arc has also been about the six of them developing magical powers and learning to use them, as well as practicing restraint and learning not to be jealous of the other members' powers. The Hui trilogy works to conclude this narrative, as we see Gfriend coming to terms with who they are as individuals. The three installments of this trilogy are Crossroads, Song of Sirens, and Walpurgis Night. The first installment, Crossroads, is the members of Gfriend contemplating whether or not the magical powers given to them are a blessing or a curse, and wondering if they would have been better off without them. They feel outcast from society, and it's the thing that's inherent to them, the magical powers they've developed, that is causing this feeling the most. The second installment, Song of Sirens, is released with the title track Apple, as it is also represented in Christianity. The subject of the apple in this song is supposed to represent temptation. Someone sings in the chorus after deciding to give in to temptation, infuse with color all my great decisions. Throughout Gfriend's narrative as a group together, the presentation of themselves as witches with magical powers also alludes to the development of oneself in full confidence and in full honesty. In the same way a witch is often rejected by society over her potential for magic, a similar convention comes with being fully honest with oneself and accepting you for who you truly are. There are people who will turn their backs on you for not conforming to societal standards. People will position you as an outcast and certainly tend to misunderstand you as they feel uncomfortable with your nonconformity. And this is what brings us to the final installment of the Hui series. Gfriend observes the Walpurgis Night from the perspective of the witches, the very thing this holiday intends to exclude from society. With everything they've learned in their career, and despite a feeling of doubt about who they truly are, Gfriend sings Mago. In the chorus they sing, "My life is waiting for you, yes you, her smiling at me in the mirror." Their life has waited for the moment they can look into the mirror, smile at themselves while recognizing and accepting themselves for who they truly are. Notably in the bridge, Unha sings, "In this blessed flame I fly reborn." I believe this is the most significant reference to why this album is called Walpurgis Night. In reference to the flames of the bonfire set up to ward off witches like Gfriend, they find a newfound resolve for themselves within the flames of the bonfire that intended to shut them out of society. To me, this concludes the Hui trilogy and explains the use of the Hui symbol. Hui in Korean means turning around or going around someplace, but I suspect the inclusion of the Hanja symbol is the way it's used as the verb return. If Gfriend returns to where they started at the beginning of the series, they find themselves at the crossroads again. This time, they have the answer. They realize the most difficult path is the one they need to take. It's in the midnight of the Walpurgis Night that Gfriend feels the most resolve about themselves than they ever have before. They know that this kind of rejection by society will always come about for the people who accept themselves for what they are. The song ends with the chorus, "Mago, Mago, go on and judge me now, I won't ever waver. Mago, Mago, dance a dance for me. The night goes tick-tack, tick-tack, feels so high." Gfriend concludes the Hui trilogy as well as their career as a group together by accepting themselves and the world around them as it is plainly. They have found meaning and resolve in understanding the way society has rejected them for who they truly are, and that's it. Gfriend flies away in the night on their brooms, reborn again in the flames. An additional layer to the Walpurgis Night reference could also be that some pagan practicing communities today have since reclaimed this holiday and revere the gathering of the witches on this night, where the veil between the living and spirit world is the weakest. With their witch concept in mind, naming the final act of their career Walpurgis Night could be Gfriend's way of reclaiming this holiday as their own. This is my understanding of Gfriend's quite surprising disbandment. Despite the news coming out of nowhere at the time, the final three projects of their career really summarized the narrative of their whole career in a very meaningful way. And yeah, this is what I think. This is my interpretation of Walpurgis Night. I think my favorite song on that album is, or my favorite song besides Mago is Get Ready With Me. It feels so out of place on the album, but it's such a good song. Thank you for watching this if you did. Let me know if you have any theories or memories with these albums. Subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you next time.